Hello everyone, welcome to Analytics with Asmi.
In this video, we are diving into the most frequently asked SQL interview question for data analyst and Power BI analyst roles. We will be discussing today 5 methods to solve the same query including group by, subquery, Windows function and even a self join. Now, you must be thinking, why do we need to know different ways to solve the same query? Right? Knowing multiple approaches not only prepare you for this tricky question asked in the interview but also deepens your understanding of SQL. So the today's question is how to identify employees with duplicate emails in a table. This is very favorite interview question because it tests your understanding of SQL joins, aggregation and Windows functions. So, whether you're preparing for the interview or just looking to sharpen your SQL skills, this video is for you. But before moving ahead, I just want to request you to join my Telegram channel and the Instagram handle where I regularly post recent job openings and interview Q&As. Link is given in a description box. So, let's start now. First of all, let's understand our data. So here we have this employee table where we have a 3 columns: employee ID, okay, from 1 to 7, employee name and the email. And in this table you can notice that we have some duplicate emails created. Okay, it could be by manual error. Okay, so the question is we have to write the SQL query to find the employees with these duplicate emails. Okay, so there are different ways to solve the same query. So we'll see 5 different methods to solve this query. You can see I have opened my SQL, my SQL workbench. Okay, so here you can see we have this table. Okay, so to see the table, to retrieve the table, I have used this query select star from employees. So we are using the star because we want all the name of a columns. That's why we have given the star. So when you run this query select star from employees, it will give you the table. Right, now let's jump right into a first method using group by and having. Now you must be knowing that group by is used to summarize your data and having is used to filter the group data. So in the first method we are using here the aggregation function count. So we will count the duplicate emails here. Okay, so for that, to start a query we have to start with a select. Okay, select, we will use a count function here, count star. So it will count the number of emails and the data we want from employees. Okay, and here we want to group. So we want to group by email. So we'll write here group by email. Okay, now after grouping we want to count. Okay, so whenever we are getting a count more than 1, we will get the exact count of a duplicate email. So here we will be using, after grouping we will be using having. Okay, having count star greater than 1. Okay, now we are done with this query. So here what we have done, we have counted the duplicate emails where the count is greater than 1. Okay, now let's run this. Now here you can see we are getting a count 3 and 2. But in the question they have asked for the name of our employees. So we are not getting a name of our employees here. So another workaround here we can do like that. Here we can use a join function. Okay, so the query we can write something like this. Going to start the query with a select. Okay, so let's start the query select. Okay, and we are using a star so that we should get name of all the columns. So as we are using join, so I am writing e dot star, okay, from name of a table which is employees, and we have to give here the alias as e, and as we are using a join function here we'll write join. And what I will do here, I will just select this query, okay, and I will paste here as we are using the self join here. This is our another table. Okay, and instead of this count I am just writing here email, so that we should get the name of a email where the count is greater than 1. Okay, now let's close this and give a alias as a D. And on what basis we are joining this table? On the basis of email column. So we have to write on e.email is equal to d.email. Okay, let's complete the query. Now here you can see that we have used a select star because we want name of all the column from the employee table, and we have used this join, self join function to get the desired result. Okay, so we will getting in the inner query we have written the name of we will get the name of a email where count is greater than 1. Now let's run this. Now here you can see that we are getting the duplicate email name as well as the employee name as well. Here you can see for the Asmi we are having these 3 emails, duplicate emails, and for the Eva we are having these 2 duplicate emails. Okay, so this is how we have to use a group by and having function to get the name of employees. Let's dive into the second method by using a subquery. So for subquery, we need to write first the inner query. Okay, so let's write the inner query. So we'll be writing same inner query where we are getting the name of a duplicate emails. Okay, so this is our subquery. Now if we run this subquery, which is the inner query, so we are getting the duplicate email names. But in the question we want the employee names, right, who are having the duplicate emails. So here we will write a outer query. So what we'll do here, this will act as a inner query. So let's make it a bracket here and let's write a outer query here. So we'll start a query with the select statement again, select, as we want a name of a employee. So we will write a column name which is a employee name, and we want email as well. Okay, and from name of a table which is employees. Okay, and here we are going to use a where clause where we need to put a column name here where email in. Okay, so we need to use here in keyword which will give you the all the name of employees who are having a duplicate email. Okay, now let's run this. Now here we can see we are getting a name of employees along with the duplicate emails. So this is how we have to use a subquery. Now let's see the third method, which is using rank windows function. So now let's use a rank function here. So first start with the select. Okay, as we need a name of a employee, so we'll write employee name. Okay, and we want email as well, and here we are using a rank function which is a row number. Okay, so let's write row number. Okay, and start the window function with the over, and here we have to use a partition by and order by. So we will be doing partition by email. Okay, so partition by email and order by employee ID. Okay, it will order by employee IDs as we have a 1 to 7 employee IDs. Okay, then as here we have to give a alias. Okay, so I am taking RN and from employees table. Okay, now here if we are running this, okay, so here we will get a ranking, okay, for all the emails. Now here you can see that we have created a partition by email. So for this you can see for Asmi we have created one partition. Okay, for Eva one partition is created. Okay, and it is ranked on the basis of that. Now here we want a rank greater than 2, right? So here either we can use here the subquery or we can use here a CTE. So now let's see with the subquery how we can get a result. As we are creating a subquery here, this will act as a inner query. Okay, and here we will write select. So we'll write select as we want a name of an employee and email. So I'm just taking that, and here from we will use. So this will act as a derived table. Okay, This will act as a derived table, so we have to give a alias as a, okay, and finally we have to write a condition where rn is greater than 1. Okay, so what here we have done here, we have used the Windows function to ranking the emails, okay, as per the partition, and after that I have written the outer query to get a name of a employee and email where rank is greater than 1. So if we are running this, we can see that we are getting a name of our employees where we have a duplicate email. So we have these 3 employees only, Amit, Aarti and Varun, where we are having a duplicate email. Okay. Now by using CTE, how we are going to do that? So we have to start CTE with a with keyword. So with name of a city, ranked employee, okay, as, and here we'll in the bracket we will write this query. Okay, so we have to write whole this query where we are getting the ranking for all the employees. Okay, now once this is completed, we have to write a new select statement, select, as we want the email and the name of our employees. So we'll write that, and from this CTE. So this is our CTE name. Okay, so let's copy this from this CTE where rank is greater than 1. Okay, so if you are writing this, now if you are running this, we will get same result. Okay, so these 3 employees are there where we have a duplicate emails. Okay, the fourth method is using aggregation Windows function. Here we will be using count aggregated function with Windows. Okay, so let's start with the select statement. Okay, so let's start with the select statement. Select, again we want here the employee name and email. So let's copy from this only. Okay, as we want this. Okay, yes, and here now we are going to use a count function, aggregation function, and as we want a email count, so in the bracket we'll write the column name and start the window function with over, and we need here the partition by email. Okay, so we'll write partition by email from employees table. Okay, now if we are running this function, you can see that we are getting again the count here. Okay, now we have to give here a name here as well. So here as we'll write here count email. Okay, now here we want a employee name which is greater than we want here email which is greater than 1. Okay, so either we can write again the subquery and CTE. So let's write here the CTE. Okay, so this will act as a CTE. So I'm just closing here in the bracket, and here we'll start with the with keyword with count emp as. Okay, now this is our CTE, and let's write again the select statement, select star, okay, from our CTE which is our count emp. Okay, control C, control V, where now we can write where condition here where count of email, okay, count of email greater than 1. So we'll get all the name of our employees where email where we have a duplicate email, right? Now if we are running this, we are getting the name of our employees with a duplicate email. Okay, now let's dive into the last method, which is using self join. So let's start with the select statement. Okay, select, and as here again we want the employee name and email. So here what we'll write here, employee name and email, okay, from employees. Now this will act as a E1, okay, and as we are using inner join or self join, we'll write here again the employee table E2. Okay, and on what basis it is joining? On the basis of email. So E1 dot email is equal to E2 dot email. Okay, and here we have to put one more condition. So I am writing here and employee ID e1.em employee id, e1.employee id is not equal to e2.employee id, employee id. Okay, so what we are doing here, as we have a employee id from 1 to 7, we don't want it should match. So we have put the condition where employee id is not equal to employee id. Okay, now if we are running this, now before running this we have to mention here from which table we have to take this column. So here I am mentioning e1 dot, okay, and here also I am mentioning e1 dot. Okay, so now if we are running this, we are getting here we have a name of employees. Yes, so if we are running this now, we are getting all the name of our employees where we are having a duplicate email. Okay, so this is how we have to work with the self join. Hope you enjoy the video. If you enjoy the video, please like, subscribe and share with your friends. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.